Today I'm going to show you one of my favorite pieces of mixing software, and it's not a plugin. It actually doesn't have anything to do with sound at all, but it saves me so much time. And if you are a professional mix engineer and you handle audio files for a living, I don't know how you get by without this piece of gear. It is called Stereomonoizer, and it's amazing. All right, thanks for watching. My name is Malcolm Owen-Flood. I teach DIY audio. And if you're new here, be sure to check out the workshop down below in the description. It's a free workshop on how to level up your mixes using the plugins you already own. Now, let's get into this video. Stereomonoizer, what is it and why do you need it? I'm going to show you all of this in just a few seconds, but what was happening to me is bands were sending me tracks to mix, and they were doing maybe a not great job at exporting them. And a couple DAWs, Logic in particular, seems to be prone to this. But when you export your files from it, your mono files get exported as kind of false stereo files. So what that means is that it takes a mono file and it exports it as a stereo file, but the information on both the left and right channel is the exact same. So you could just delete half of that and have a mono file that would sound identical. But why this is a problem is that if you use any sort of mixing template and you drag that file into your mixing template, well, now you can't really get it to work. Take a lead vocal, for example. You probably have a track in your mixing template that is specifically for the lead vocal, and it's going to be a mono file, right? A mono mic that is recording a mono voice, and you just want to drag that mono file right onto that track, and it's already going to have your favorite plugins sitting there ready to go, and maybe your effect sends sitting there ready to go. But if you have received this file and it is a stereo file, a false stereo file, you can't drag it onto the track, and you now have to drag it into your session, split it up, and delete half of it, and then drag it in. And that just takes a bunch of time, especially if it's happening over like a dozen files in everything that was sent to you. So luckily, some genius solved this problem and created Stereomonoizer, and it is a lifesaver. It's totally affordable, and it's absolutely idiot-proof. Let me show you an example of how this will just make your day. First thing you're going to need to do is go download Stereomonoizer. I do believe they have a free trial, so you can try this out for yourself, and it's like $50 for a single license, and I think $80 for 2 licenses. So if you have a mixing assistant that you need to have an access of this as well, that's totally possible. They've thought ahead of that. Smart cookies. And now once you've got it open, you're just going to go find the files you want to drag in that were maybe sent to you from your client, and then just drag and drop right into Stereomonoizer. And as you can see, it is now populated with a list of those files. You got some settings like to include subfolders, process only the selected items if you want, but generally I just go for the whole dang thing, and you can pretty much just leave it in its default settings if you want. The only thing I would draw special attention to is if you want to overwrite the files, in that it's not going to make a new folder of new files after it's done. It's just going to alter the files in the existing folder or create a backup, and that will then, split them into 2, and you're kind of extra safe. Honestly, I've never had a single issue with just overwriting the files, but if you want to be careful, you can of course take that extra precaution. And actually, another feature that I totally forgot about that I absolutely love is that you can get Stereomonoizer to look for blank audio files. And this happens all the time too, when a band thinks they've sent you the files, but something was muted and you end up with a bunch of background vocals that are just blank audio tracks, and you're halfway through the mix and realize you don't have all the files you need. This is going to catch that in advance, and then you can just say, hey, I'm missing this file, and this file. Can you please re-export those and send them again? But back to the main purpose of Stereomonoizer. Once you've dragged your files in, you're going to click Analyze and watch what happens. It's real quick. It just kind of blazes through them. But as you can see, there's a bunch of files that say it wants to convert. And what that has done is it has recognized that, let's say this clean guitar here is actually a mono file. It is 2 mono files that are identical, just copied onto the left and the right. And again, that is something that happened in the export of whatever DAW this person was using. So it's going to say, hey, I'm just going to convert this to 1 mono file. I'm choosing the left file. It doesn't matter which side it chooses because they're identical. So after this is done and I click process, it will go through and make all of those fake stereo files into actual mono files. So now that I've clicked process, it has gone through and taken all those false stereo files and made new mono files for me so that I can drag them into my mixing template super easily, and I'll show you that. But if we look inside of the folder of what we just changed, you will see a new folder that has all our source files. So those are the backups if you choose to create them. And I wanted to do that so I could show you the time-saving advantage that is going to give me inside of Pro Tools. So let's take this bass track as an example. If I hadn't just used Stereomonoizer and I tried to pull the original file that was a false stereo into the session, watch what happens. It won't let me drag and drop onto this pre-existing track, but I can drag it down below and create a new track, and as you can see, it is a stereo file. So the workaround here, and this is what you would have to do if you didn't have Stereomonoizer, is go through, click split into mono, and then delete one side of it plus the original kind of false stereo track that it made. And now I've got just one side of it, and that would work. And I can now drag that into my mix template track. Real slow. Alternatively, after using Stereomonoizer, I can just drag that file in directly, no extra steps. So let's go find that file. Here it is, and drag it in. It now plops in there, no problem. It's loading up, and our bass is in. That saves me that step for, let's look at Stereomonoizer, how many tracks? Like at least 12 or 15 or something. It saved me so much time, just not having to drag it in, split it, delete, then find its home. I can just drag right from Finder into my template and get mixing quicker. It's that simple. It is a tool that is 100% worth the money. It pays for itself, I think, in one song if you get a bad session like this, where almost all of the files are the incorrect format. It's kind of like a no-brainer if you're a professional mixer. If you're not, and you're not receiving files from other people all the time, you probably don't need this. But if you are a professional mix engineer, I think you do. So I hope you like it. They didn't ask me to make this video. I paid for it with my own money. I don't know them at all. I just really like what they've done here. So check them out. Great plugin, and they deserve your business if you're a professional. And that's it. I hope this was helpful for you. If you did enjoy this, please do give a thumbs up, click subscribe, and let me know down in the comments. It means so much. And if you want to see another one of my videos, another one will be coming up for you right here.